Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Thanks for checking in. Mitch back tomorrow. Pauly and Dustin getting ready for France and Iraq. The World Cup. Messi delivered again twice as Argentina won 2-0. And great with the World Cup, and it gets nuts on Wednesday with 6 matches, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And, of course, USA already winning the group. It's been an awesome World Cup so far with a ton of goals, a lot of own goals, and again, plus 29 units for the tournament if you're betting draw every single match. How about Norway and Senegal coming up? That is at MetLife. Rain in the forecast, 70 degrees, total of 2.5. A lot of people like draw, plus 240. Norway only 1 clean sheet in the last 8. I bet BTTS, minus 140. And I think Howland can get it done again. They had the 4-1 win against Iraq, as you mentioned. And this is going to be a good match against Senegal. But I think the BTTS is the way to attack it. Draw plus 240, and let's keep it going with the craziness with the draw in all these matches. How do you see Senegal-Norway?
I'm on the draw on this one, as you mentioned. Yeah. Senegal's athletic. They played France better than I think the 3-1 score would show for them. They're not as organized on defense, but we'll see how it plays against the Norway team that obviously is pretty good here. I think that Senegal is able to close the gap some with their athleticism. They're able to, if they can score early, keep Norway off the board from scoring multiple goals, beating them 2-1 here. I'm looking at a 1-1 game. That's what I'm thinking happens in this contest a little bit later.
Okay. And Jordan and Algeria from the Bay Area, that total is 2.5. Jordan, no wins last 9. 4 of their last 5 have gone over 3.5. Whether or not going to be a problem. Algeria's got a pretty good resume. And when you look at the in the qualifying, they beat Netherlands, and they had a draw 0-0 against Uruguay, and they are $1.90 at DraftKings in the late match, and that's at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific in that one. I think Jordan wins.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Algeria.
Algeria, yeah. I think the minus 190, that's not too steep of a price here.
How high will you go? Because I don't even know, because I love Brazil, but they're up like 240, 250, but I think Brazil is going to win. But then it goes back to, how much you want, how you want to go with what you want to lay. Because I think they're going to crush Scotland. I think Scotland's crap.
255. That's not horrible for a team with pedigree, right?
Yeah.
Your only concern with Brazil is if they're going to get beat by a more athletic team. Well, I don't know much about Scotland, but I'm going to just guess based off history, they're not more athletic than Brazil.
Yeah. I was disappointed. They were outplayed by Haiti, and they were not impressive and dominated in their last match. I just can't believe Brazil is that low. Coming up tomorrow.
I think
Wednesday, excuse me.
If it's baseball, you don't want to lay 220, 250.
Yeah, right.
But in the World Cup, I think it's totally different with these matchups and the disparity in it's not like it's a salary cap league where the goal is for like these rosters to be equal year after year. No, there's a huge gap between the elites and the middle of the pack even, let alone some of the bottom tier teams. So I don't hate if you really love it, going minus 250. Yeah. Algeria, I might consider a minus 190.
Yep. I like Bosnia minus 230. A lot of people were making the case before that Qatar was the worst team in the field, and they got blasted last time out. So Bosnia, are we going to play? We're going to play the winner of that match. Is that what it looks like?
That I think I have it in my notes.
I think that's how it would work out right now. That could be our pause.
Sweden.
Oh, it's Sweden now.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you at with with the U.S. team? Because Stormy made fun of me when this thing started. I said I kind of hope that they the bet early because I like the chaos that ensues. I like we had Gio Reyna's parents calling the coach like last World Cup, being like, we need him to get more playing time like it's youth soccer. I just like the drama that unfolds. But now that they've looked good, I'm kind of in, but I'm also hesitant to go all the way in because we haven't seen it against a European power.
Yeah, I'm all in. I love it. And I want that path. I wanted that path like the Bosnia and then Iran possibly to get to the Sweet 16. There's a scenario we could play England July 4th in Philadelphia. How about that scenario? That could play out.
Shout out to 1776. Yes. What a situation here.
Oh, that'd be great.
Well, the thing that stands out, though, I feel like in past World Cups, we had a team that just sat back and waited for it to come to them. And this kind of like 1776, we took our country from the Brits. This team is way more aggressive. They're forcing things to happen. And I think that's a positive sign. I don't know how far they go. I don't know how good is good for them. But honestly, if they just get down to the final 16, we'd be thrilled.
I look at Elite 8 now.
Elite 8?
I think when you've been that dominant and you win the group and you have a good path in the next two matches, I would say Elite 8. And here are the round of 32 plus 225, round of 16 plus 190, quarters 3-1, semis 8-1, champs 35-1 with the stage of elimination. That is solid. Okay, so this is getting a ton of coverage. We talked about it with Derek Stevens. He's on tomorrow. How do you say no to a private jet pickup, come to Stadium Swim, hang out? This Freddie thing doesn't pass the smell test.
No.
It's really getting weird, and it blew up even more over the weekend with the governors reaching out. Oh, I missed my flight.
American Airlines.
Come on now.
You can't get American Airlines to do anything for you.
Right.
And I feel like they're also not to take any shots at it. They're an airline that people are constantly like missing connectors for, like all sorts of situations. But this guy with no face on the internet that no one heard of 2 months ago.
No pick, right? You can't see the face.
You've never even heard of him.
No.
And
right.
He started with a good chunk of followers. That doesn't mean anything. People act like if you have followers, it means legitimacy. Do you know how many of your favorite people you follow on social media bought 200,000, 150, 10,000, 20? You don't know what these people are doing. I've just come to realize the entire social media feed we see is fake. It's manipulated by a bunch of big companies through marketing. And from the jump with Freddie, something smelt off.
It's really getting weird now.
Some of it is real. Some of it, I think, has
What's real?
The J.J. Watts, because I don't think J.J. Watt's in on it.
Going to Buc-ee's. Yeah, this is unbelievable.
There's some things that are pure.
Yeah, okay.
But I do think there's a lot of product placement, stuff happening with big companies that have controlled where he's gone, how he's been there, what he's tweeting along the way. The Ella Langley thing with the concert was a little fishy. Like,
yes, she's. I like listening to her and all. Right? How do you not respond to Derek Stevens? I'll send the jet. You can come in Stadium Swim with.
I read this article and I posted it up on my Twitter. It's from the Vulture, vulture.com, New York. The feed is fake, all about how a viral song, movie, meme, influencer, and celebrity drama was probably the product of a stealth marketing campaign. You will look at the internet very differently after reading this article. Yeah. And I looked at Freddie. I was like, you know what? It seems too pure. And I know that's not the world we live in.
I know.
And I love America.
It's getting weird. This story is everyone reaching out. Missed the flight. Okay, whatever you need. Governors getting involved, right? Top people. Okay, sure.
Also,
we'll come pick you. We'll send the limo, no problem. With
but
best tickets.
Those people going, we want to help you get out of this situation when their job is to help people who voted them into office is absolutely wild.
Yeah. All right. All new VSiN NFL betting guide out now. Get the football special, just $175. Through the Super Bowl, vsin.com/subscribe. I have Browns win total under. I have Giants wins under as well. How about this MVP bet that you made a strong case for and bet? Take it away.
Yeah, I'm not a big Brock Purdy guy. I've been pretty clear about that. I thought Kyle Shanahan signed his death sentence when they signed him to the extension about a year ago. But I got to tell you, just based on the number, I like the idea of Brock Purdy at 22-1. This is a guy that's coming into the system now where he should be the master of it. And the 49ers dealt with a ton of injuries last year, and they still managed to figure out a way to be a tough team. I think now with everyone back, the improvements they make on offense. Remember, nothing out of Brandon Ayuk a year ago. He wasn't on the. He's not going to be a part of the plan, in the future here.
I know you're big on Mike Evans,
but if you go look at the track record of Mike Evans, everywhere he goes, quarterbacks get better. So I want to just throw this together for you because Johnny Manziel won the Heisman. And I get he was running around at Kyle Field. He was beating Nick Saban. You know, half the time he was doing it, 50-50 jump balls to Mike Evans. Mike Evans made him look brilliant, especially in the red zone. Baker Mayfield was another example of this. Baker Mayfield goes with Carolina and the Rams, gets a shot in Tampa, and in his first year throwing to Mike Evans, has his best completion percentage, most touchdowns, and most passing yards, and then Tom Brady. 2020, he was coming off his worst completion percentage, his low since 2013, his lowest passing yards per game since 2010, fewest touchdowns since 06, and at 43 with Mike Evans in Tampa, completion percentage up from 60.8 to 65.7, back to 289.6 yards per game, up from 253.6, and threw 40 touchdowns after throwing just 24 the year before. I think a lot of it is Mike Evans. I think he makes everyone look better. I think he helps them convert in the red zone better. And I think Brock Purdy at this point deserves a little bit more respect. I'm not going to bet Allen. The expectations are crazy. I'm not going to bet Jackson. I don't know how the transition goes. I'm actually a Herbert guy, but that's a wacky number.
Oh, that's
10
ridiculous.
to 1. That's
absurd.
How many games does Mahomes play?
Yeah.
Do Burrow and the Bengals adjust their game plan and rely on the defense a little bit more this year? So we're looking at some of the long shots, and I'm not touching Matthew Stafford after I had 55 to 1 a year ago. To me, Brock Purdy's the guy. Of the longer shots there in the middle of the board,
What'd you have?
55 to 1.
You did.
The second he got, I made the case on cashing out 25 to 1. I was like, I'm going to bet this before the season starts. The next day, his back got hurt. I said, you know what?
The back, right, after the back.
Blood in the, sometimes you got to place these futures when there's blood in the streets.
Okay, go ahead.
And I think for Brock Purdy, people aren't anticipating that he might be getting better. He might actually be improving. The efficiency numbers would say that. And I think his numbers have been right on the cusp of MVP. If he stays healthy, if he plays 16, 17 games, I think it's 35 plus touchdowns. I think it's a completion percentage over 67, 68%. And I think he throws for well over like 4,400 yards. I think Brock Purdy's going to be right in the mix here because the Niners are loaded on offense.
Yep. All right. Strong case. Good job, my man. Alex Crook coming up in 15 minutes. Talk soccer, talk sport. He was at the Argentina match. It's a good baseball card today, and it's getting fun for most wins of the month. But this pitcher is 10-1 career with a 1.84 against his opponent. I'll tell you who it is next on Follow the Money. So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Goal! Mbappe for France right off the bat. And they, if you want to get nuts, Iraq draw 19-1 to come back and win 75-1. He scores in the 13th minute. Again, the FOMO parlay. Can this thing hit again? Last week, Messi hat trick. Mbappe scored 2. Haaland scored 2. Kane scores 2, but today we go Messi into Mbappe into Haaland. Messi gets 2, Mbappe's already on the board, and Haaland's coming up with Norway against Senegal. This is great.
Beautiful left footer right outside the box.
Oh, man.
Past the goalie off the fingertips and in. France on the board first. We love to see it.
Yeah.
That's good for the over.
Yeah.
And this is right after, like, I don't know, a minute before they hit the post.
Right.
They've been very aggressive. Now, up a goal, do they remain aggressive? I think you have to. I think you just have to play your game if you're France. If that means just throwing shots on net, and here they are with another opportunity potentially. So I'm all for this. I like that over. The FOMO I'm going to have here is that I didn't bet the team total of France over 2.5 at plus money. Instead, I just went over 3.5 on the game.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
I know. There's different ways to play it, but I know it was difficult to what you wanted to do with this because you figured to get a blowout. But again, hat trick was as low as plus 350.
Oh, let's see how this moved the market. It's off the board. The golden boot's off the board, by the way.
Yeah.
After that, Mbappe was up to plus 320 in the break. I only know because I wrote it down because I wanted to set up a question for Alex Crook, our next guest, at the bottom of the hour. And instead, you had Messi as a plus 150 favorite at that point in time.
Okay, so we have a fishy line right off the bat and a good game to start the card in an hour from Detroit. The Yankees are $1.25 at DraftKings, it's Cole against Valdez. Cole career against Detroit, 10-1 with a 1.84. Detroit has lost 7 of the last 8 starts by Valdez. They are playing well, and they just swept the White Sox. But what is this all about?
It does make sense.
I love the Yankees.
Yankees second in OPS against lefties, third in home runs.
Yeah.
Valdez career against the Yankees, 6 starts, 7.22 ERA.
Ooh, mama.
He's not good against them. I don't understand this. So last night I did a couple things. The official play for me is going to be Garrett Cole. I took him at minus 124 last night. I also combined the Yankees with Cole to have at least 5 strikeouts. The number is 5.5.
Yeah.
So I took it down plus $1.30 if you do it that way. I think Cole has a good performance. He's coming off 6 innings, 2 earned, 6 strikeouts against Chicago. He's actually been a little bit better in a couple road starts this year. Last time he saw Detroit, he was dominant, 8 strikeouts, 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs. I think the Yankees offense is going to smack around Valdez. This is a fishy line. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll back the Yankees.
Wow. Is that here at circa $1.15? My God.
That's crazy.
That is.
Unless they think that Cole, the numbers aren't legit, right? That they think that there's something wrong with him here.
Man.
That's the only thing.
Okay. Rasmussen goes for Tampa. Best home record in baseball, 26-10. They're in the middle of a 10-game homestand. It's Waka for Kansas City. Witt hurt. Rasmussen, $1.80. They took 2 out of 3 over the weekend at home again. This team is so strong at home, and Rasmussen's had a hell of a year as well. The run line is plus 115 if you want to do that. But again, just trust Tampa Bay at home and Rasmussen.
Well, yeah, and you just don't trust the Royals offense, which is why I'd go with the under here. It's not my bet on this one, but if I was betting it, that's what I was looking at, going under 7.5. I love Rasmussen. I don't know if the strikeouts at the end of the year will be there to be like a legit Cy Young guy, but he's a stud, and he's super efficient when he's healthy and he's throwing for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Waka's road numbers aren't awesome, but I think he can be competitive against Tampa, who doesn't really rely on the home run as much. And then I think that Rasmussen shuts down Kansas City's offense because everyone shuts down their offense. So I think the under 7.5 is the way I'd look.
Okay, back-to-back games. These are great stories, and if you think it'll continue. Miami is $1.35 against Texas. Most wins in June. It's the Marlins.
They're killing me.
I know. They have won 8 in a row at home for the first time since 2012. And they're 14-4. Philadelphia is right behind them for most wins, but now favored against Texas if they can get this done again, and can this continue? Imagine if they win that market, most wins in June. What a story with the Marlins.
Miami's a half game out of a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Half game. 26 home wins. That's tied for the most in baseball in a ballpark that never has a home field advantage. All you see is empty stands when they show the shots there. I hate to say it. I think I would bet Miami if I was forced to bet that game. I'd bet into the streak. I think it keeps going here. Texas is mercurial, man. I don't know what to make of them. They're opening with Alexander, who's then going to give way to Kumar Rocker, who's not good on the road. I'd only look at Miami, but I don't want to touch that one. It's fishy with the fish.
I got you. Okay, another one. Foster Griffin and the Nats. Favored against the Phillies, who have been great since Mattingly took over. And again, trying to chase down the Braves. That's at least a competitive race now. Griffin is the number 2 pitcher in ROI, most profitable this year. And undefeated last 6. And he's 3-0 personally with an ERA of 3. What do you think about the Nats favored and how high scoring they are? Of course, you got a 9.5 for a total against the Phillies, and Schwarber going deep every single game.
I mean, the Phillies have a hole in that rotation, right? The exit of Walker, Painter having to be sent down. They have to scrap it together with a bullpen here. Meza, the reliever, is going to open this thing up here. I think the over 9.5 is the way I'd play this one. The Washington bullpen is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
At some point for Foster Griffin, it just feels like something's got to go wrong. He opened the season with a win over Philadelphia, 5 innings, 5 hit, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts. He's been so good. Exactly 1 earned run, 1 earned run in each of his last 3 starts, 17 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts there. Rubber's got to meet the road at some point, but I'm not willing to fade him against Philly. Instead, I think the over 9.5 is how I'd look at it.
What else are you looking at?
Okay, I got a couple things that I do like. I like the under in Houston and Toronto.
Yeah, Cease. I got Cease numbers here.
Both pitchers with great track records against each other. Talk to me about Cease.
Last 5 against Houston, 5-0 with a 1.76.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you at the total. Cease against Hunter Brown, Cease $1.30.
And Hunter Brown versus Toronto, 7 shutout innings, 9 strikeouts a year ago. Second start off the IL. He looked pretty good against Detroit on Tuesday. 5 2/3, 7 strikeouts in that one. You mentioned the Cease stuff. Over the last 3 seasons, 4 starts, a 105 ERA, a .662 whip, 26 strikeouts, 25 2/3 innings. You got Toronto on the road as well. Toronto, 4th worst scoring on the road this year, 3.87 runs per game. That's 4th worst in baseball. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think both pitchers pitch pretty deep into it. So I went with that. And then the number that doesn't make sense to me, and now it's moved since I bet it last night. The Cubs were -110. It was a pick 'em against the Mets. It's now up to -126.
Senga.
I don't care.
Terrible.
Take the Cubs. Take the Cubs. I might take the Cubs run line -1.5 at +129. How can Kodai Senga get any sort of respect here where he's barely over even money at home? He is unraveled. He's wild. 12 walks in his last 4 starts. That's 12 1/3 innings. That's a walk an inning, essentially, there from him. He is a cautionary tale. When people go, oh, that guy had a lower body injury, it doesn't affect his throwing. It absolutely has. It changes the mechanics. It changes the way they throw. It puts stress in other areas. He has been so bad. And Imanaga, he's a little bit better on the road this year. The Mets have a good track record against him. I don't care. These Mets are different. 25th in OPS against lefties, 5th fewest runs per game on the season. I think their offense does nothing against Imanaga, and I anticipate the Cubs scoring 4 or 5 runs against Senga.
Sounds good. I don't mind the Brewers and Woodruff. Strange scheduling spot.
How big is he, by the way?
Yeah.
If he comes back and finds his old form,
I know.
Think about what they could throw at people.
No kidding. They play the Reds 7 times in the next 11 days. Not a fan of Singer. Brewers $1.50 with Woodruff going. Also, it's the first meeting between the Guardians and the White Sox. That's a big series in Chicago. Williams has been bad of late. He's going against K. Total of 7.5.
Yeah.
And the Twins and Dodgers. The Twins, where is this coming from? 6-1 last 7, averaging 8 runs a game. Buxton, 364, 7 bombs last 14. And he has, is it going to be Klein now? It's not Lauer? Or is it Lauer behind?
I think it's Lauer behind Klein.
It's Lauer behind Klein. Good, okay. Because he has great numbers against Lauer, hitting 400 against him as well. So take advantage of that when he gets in there, and it could be, look at that total, 10 in that game, and it could be a ton of runs. Also, the Orioles, as you mentioned earlier, playing good ball, should have swept the Dodgers. They're 12-3 last 15 against the Halos, averaging 6 runs a game. They're $1.60 on the road, total of 9 in that one. And again, this debacle in San Diego. Can't hit. What's going on? They were so good at home last year. They're playing 500 ball at home. King, 0-4 with an ERA of 6.
I wanted to take the under in that game, but King hasn't been in good form, so I can't touch it right now. If I was doing anything, I'd look at Atlanta. I'm also on Gavin Williams. You mentioned he hasn't been great lately. Over 5.5 strikeouts. I ate a bit of juice last night, -143. I just thought 5.5 was a little low. When you factor in Chicago, 3rd highest K rate in baseball, it didn't happen as much against the Tigers, but the series before against the Yankees, all those starters who tend to throw around 100 pitches, they all would have went way over this number of 5.5.
Alex Crook up next, Talk Sport, chief football correspondent. He was at the Argentina match. His thoughts on Norway, Senegal, coming up.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
1-0 France, 29th minute. Mbappe with the first goal of the match. Draw in play, 25-1. And another one, you wanted to play the FOMO parlay. I forgot about this. I believe this hit last week, if you guys can check my work. So if to bet the score of the first goal, 177-1. Messi, Mbappe, Haaland, Harry Kane. The first 2 are in. I know 3 of them got there for sure last week. Did Mbappe get the first one for France? Because that same ticket hit last week, I believe. And I know someone put that in 177-1. He's got the first 2 in. Haaland coming up with Norway and Harry Kane tomorrow against Ghana.
Well, how about this match right now? Iraq's being a little aggressive here, a little spicy with the ball on the other side.
Well, you read those quotes that from the coach. He's going to be aggressive. I'm surprised by that, but they had a couple opportunities, yes.
If they could punch one in here, I feel a lot better about the over. Or if they're all over-aggressive and France can come back the other way and take advantage. Either way, I like what I'm seeing from Iraq just because the only fear of the over is the potential blowout factor. That's it. Mbappe with the first goal. I haven't looked. Is that currently available right now? The Golden Boot. Messi was up to plus 150, 155 when I looked just a little bit ago. We're at plus 175 for Mbappe now. Mbappe was plus 320 right before the goal. Oh, missed opportunity there. Missed opportunity.
Great market. And also, if you bet team to score the most goals in the group stage, that's Germany leading the way. But having the 7 early helped in their first match as well. I did not know this, and it's really getting chippy. But Alexi Lawless is hated and despised this much.
They all hate him.
Well, I'm talking about soccer fans.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
I had no idea. Andrew Marchand, New York Times, wrote that he's the most despised analyst we've seen in the last 10, 15 years, he said, 20 years.
I'm assuming that's excluding Skip Bayless. He's talking about people who played the game.
No, I think about
like game. I know what you're saying.
So people were starting to put lists together about how, because I think most people were in agreement, like soccer fans, that they hate his negativity. He's got arrogance, and he didn't do much in his career. And they took him off the broadcast, and Zlatan said, "America, you're welcome."
Yeah, that was weird. Yes. That was weird for your teammate to celebrate. That's like you being like, "Don't worry, guys, Mitch is out today. We're gonna have fun without him."
Oh man,
what are we doing? I was surprised when I saw that article. But people don't like him, and if you're annoyed that he's always negative, I guess my argument would be, what was positive about American soccer that you wanted him to say in recent years? Like, how'd you want him to spin zone this thing? They couldn't get the coaching right. They never found a marquee player that they developed. I think Freddie Adu is still young enough where if he would have lived up to the hype, he might still be on this team.
Yeah. I can't believe how people can't stand this guy. And Marchand's been leading the way and writing about it, the coverage has been bad. You got to get a different mix. And the Zlatan Lawless thing doesn't work. Then they were passing the ball. Remember they doing passing the ball, and they didn't involve Lawless either?
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I think it actually makes them look weird. More so that whatever he's done that's made them not like him, to publicly do that to your teammate is just an odd look. Especially for guys who play like a team sport. Isn't that the whole thing? Is that you can mix everyone in, you can overcome the obstacles, you can deal with whatever that they throw at you that you don't like. You're a team in the end. But apparently that is not the case with this Booth, who I think's been pretty good. Yeah. Right? I think they've been pretty good, this analyst group of them. But Zlatan with the America You're Welcome was certainly an odd sight.
Here it is. He's one of the most insufferable analysts in American TV sports history.
That feels like a stretch.
Wow. And he's just ripping the coverage about you can't have this mixed together, and Zlatan can't stand him. And how they did this. And then, people were pointing out his analysis of, I fell asleep in the first half. I fell asleep in the second half with what he said the other day. But that is strong and just saying it's not a good mix and how Americans don't like this guy anyways. And he doesn't have the credentials to be in there with these guys that they're setting him up with. And they've moved them off what they did over the weekend at least. Yeah, who's on that list, though?
But I'm trying to think who are the worst analysts that people really hate.
I think everyone disliked Phil Simms.
You mean his coworkers, or audience?
No, audience.
Kind of dry.
No one liked Phil Simms.
There wasn't much. Honestly, he didn't start saying anything until he went to the booth,
right?
Or until he went to the analyst.
He moved. Yeah, he's done both. Yeah, right.
Yeah, not in game. Didn't say anything. All of a sudden, he's in studio. You're like, where was it? Phil Simms was great when he moved to that spot.
Yeah,
I'll agree with that one. I mean,
God, that's a strong take.
Trying to think. I'm trying to think of people in their prime because you could crush the Fox NFL studio team.
People like Bradshaw.
Yeah,
people
they're
like
likable. They're likable. They're not good. I guess I'm going with not good. But you're saying character they don't like. Okay. Yeah. I don't know another comparison.
That's a tough list.
No.
But I mean, if because I wasn't a soccer guy, but if he's saying he's right up there with how soccer people feel about him as well, and the negativity is one thing, but I think it's also the arrogance when you don't have the resume like a Zlatan. The Zlatan thing's hilarious, right? Where but he has got a great resume and he's got the personality.
Yeah,
but this guy Lawless didn't accomplish anything really.
Yeah, he played for Team USA, and isn't Fox controlling the broadcast? So he's part of the group. It's our own little favoritism in putting together this combination. I don't know.
Announcers are different. Play-by-play guys
it's
are
a different world.
Because we know what Joe Buck went through, and
there's got to be
Costas
chemistry
at the end. Costas at the end, yeah. But most insufferable analyst in American TV history? Wow.
But to the point, we're struggling to come up with another number 2. So he would have a case, even though it seems outrageous. I don't have a number 2 here.
Dennis Miller?
No. That's probably it, but he had no business being there.
Yeah, right. People didn't like that at all.
At least Lawless has more credentials than Dennis Miller.
Yes.
Kornheiser was there in the booth.
Gave him a try. Yes. Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I really don't remember someone. People did not like Jessica Mendoza, but there was different. There was ulterior motives there.
Right.
Just they got to look in the mirror as to why they didn't like her.
Yeah. I think that's a good pregame with A-Rod, Ortiz, and Jeter.
I agree.
That's star power there too, and that's not bad. But that was incredible. So 1-0, 37th minute. It's slowing down now.
Yeah, we need another goal.
That's our concern.
We need 2 in the first half.
Yeah,
we need 2, and then we need the floodgates to open in the second half. This could be nice from Iraq if they can find a way to set up a shot here. But the thing I'm noticing about the elite teams, right? Mm-hmm. We're talking about the top tier teams in this tournament, is that when they're pressured on defense, they don't panic. They are so confident that they're going to make the stop and just knock away whatever the attempt is offensively from their opponent. Every time Iraq has made a real push here, you've seen France buckle down on defense like, yeah, we're fine. Well, they're not going to score here. They're minus 6,000, 55-1 if you like Iraq. The draw is 18-1. And I'm just trying to pull up the in-game on the goals. It's 3.5. The over's plus 141. I don't love that. Under's minus 167.
Yeah, I go the under there. Ooh. I'm with you. The exact scores: 1-0 if it holds was 11-1, 2-0 6-1, 3-0 6-1. If somehow Iraq can score, 2-1 was 14-1, 3-1 was 12-1, with the exact scores. But I'm all about the star power now. If these guys can hit this ticket again. Whether it's first goal score or just the Mitch did the boost at 130-1 for the big 3 to get 2 each. He already got Messi in, and Mbappe's already got the first one.
Want to point out 5:38 p.m. Eastern time. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still a Milwaukee Buck.
what? No, you said it earlier, and Nick had a great rant about the first tweet goes back to last May.
I'm over it.
Demand the trade. Say you'll only sign the extension in Boston or Miami, and that would have been done. This would have been done with months ago.
Pauly,
even a year ago.
I just cashed a Knicks 6-1 title bet that was only placed because I thought they were trading for Giannis. It's the only reason I bet the Knicks. I didn't believe that core was going to get it done. I was so confident a trade for Giannis was happening when he demanded it earlier. Then he rescinds it. Then he wants another one. Then he goes back on it. He wants to be in Milwaukee. Yeah. And now we're talking about him going to the Celtics or the Heat. I'm surprised it's only those 2 teams. Are you surprised that's it who's making an offer for him?
Yes.
I think Oklahoma City, with the Wemby situation, they should really be considering a Jalen Williams and a bunch of players and picks trade to bring Giannis to Oklahoma City.
This really got weird over the weekend because it was 3, 4, 5 teams involved, and I thought that's the reason for the holdup.
Well, Detroit's getting screwed here.
Yeah,
Tyler Hero is a good fit for them.
So it's for then Shams to come out and say it's only going to be one team trading with another team. That's it. And that just and now your Pauly market going crazy with the stuff to Boston, which you got as high as 70%. So
that's Milwaukee botching it. You're selling pennies on the dollar.
I like the Miami offer better, actually.
I think Cleveland should jump in right now with a Mobley offer. I think that's a good offer.
All right, update on the in-play with the soccer. Will be approaching halftime up next. More on Norway and Senegal. Do you concur? Americans will never treat an American like this again.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Great moments in history have begun with a question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
And what kind of hair product does Mitch Moss use? But Follow the Money wants to know.
Do you concur? Concur with what, sir? Do you concur?
We'll reconnect with Alex Crook in about an hour. He was at the Argentina match in the Messi performance. It is coming down sideways in Philadelphia. This is, under 3.5 minus 220, under 2.5 is plus money. Oh my God, it's opened. This is brutal. Now, does this happen in New York? It's supposed to rain in New York if this happens with Norway and Senegal.
I'm on the draw for that one. My over bet does appear like it's struggling. Although I will say this, it's raining heavy, and we've seen attacks in the offensive zone. We'll see how it affects actual scoring, but they're still playing their games right now. I did get off the bet, though. I paid a lot of juice. I don't love my over 3.5 now. I think that's why when we looked before, the under was minus, 137.
Yeah.
Now I had to pay over $2 to get off this thing.
Draws down to 15-1, as it is brutal right now, raining hard with France and Iraq. Okay. Americans will never treat an American like that again with what they did to Wyndham Clark. Do you concur?
Oh, I've never seen anything. I concur. I don't see how that ever happens again. And I understand the things he's done, the smashing of the clubhouse.
Sure.
Some
people say he deserved it or he had it coming.
Yeah, sure. But haven't American sports fans forgiven figures who have done a lot worse in society than Wyndham Clark? I thought that we reached a point where I was not understanding the hatred there. That was unlike anything I've ever seen. And maybe that was because of the boredom of the tournament. Maybe the tournament was so boring that everyone just took it out on Wyndham Clark for not just making it a mockery with that opening round where he dominated, but also all of his transgressions in the past. 6-stroke lead entered on Sunday, finished the job, wins the thing at 40-1. Yeah. I didn't understand it.
Okay, so I'm going to put it all together now. The whole tournament. And he's been on the show many times. I love the Hall of Famer, Chris Mad Dog Russo. But to borrow his line, there was no juice.
Oh, nothing.
That was a bad tournament. Do you concur?
I couldn't believe how nobody made a push and how Wyndham Clark, of all people, jumped out to a lead like Steve Prefontaine and somehow finishes the race.
Yeah.
In the most volatile of the U.S. option golf courses at Shinnecock, that's the guy who dominates from wire to wire.
I know.
I just didn't see that happening. I kept waiting for someone to make a push. I had Schauffele tickets. I had Morikawa tickets. Yep. They were in the mix, and then they just folded when it mattered late in the tournament. Wyndham Clark, credit to him, but it created no buzz at all. I agree.
It was the perfect storm, right? It's a guy who goes wire to wire, who's unlikable. It's a blowout. The course didn't show any teeth. There's no one in the stands. That shot of him on Friday where there's nobody there, the late tee times, there's no one there. Everyone's rooting against him. Burns doesn't make the push till late. He's also a huge favorite going into Sunday. Still, I thought, oh my God, he's got a 6-shot lead. He's only minus 250. That seemed like a gift, but then he imploded early. And then he makes the big putt to go 5 under and get a 2-shot lead, and no one claps. There's almost, you heard more boos than cheers when he went to 5 under.
I think it's weird if you have really strong opinions on Wyndham Clark. I was so happy today when I saw the Dusty May news, when we got the Giannis stuff unsettled. I was like, I did not want to have a strong opinion on Wyndham Clark. I got one for you.
Yeah.
Giannis Antetokounmpo has made a complete heel turn with the constant will he stay, will he go. He is now a bad guy. He is a villain, and he needs to embrace his new role. Do you concur?
I'll meet you halfway. I don't think he's not a villain yet, but he's screwed this up.
Yeah.
With this, you just ask for the trade, demand a trade. You won a title there. They love you. It's okay. They're rebuilding. And then he won't even come out and say, I will only sign the extension in Miami or Boston. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
It's easy.
He never gave them the parameters that they needed to move on. Right? If you're going to say you want to trade, you got to list it very specifically, make it happen. It's the one thing that the NBA has where players can just decide these are the only teams I'm willing to go to. So I just think he's going to be looked at differently now, and he needs to learn how to embrace it. How about this one? We're watching soccer. The grass looks exceptional in a lot of these fields where we're normally used to seeing turf, and guys go down with soft tissue injuries. That appears to not be happening when they're playing on grass. NFL teams need to take note of this, and they need to all transition back to grass. Do you concur?
I mentioned this last week. If I'm livid, if I'm an NFL player, like, wait a second, you can do
it for this?
and you do it right for the soccer, but you won't do it for us? Absolutely. I totally concur there, and that's something that they have to put that in the CBA or the demand that this happens, that you get grass in these stadiums. I mean, you're right. It looks beautiful.
It looks
night and day.
You mean to tell me billion-dollar franchises that go up every year, playing international games with private flights and 5-star hotels, they can't afford a grounds crew team to maintain grass? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I did this over the weekend. I placed a bet I knew was going to lose. And that is, I bet Kyle Schwarber with a boost from 35-1 to 43-1 to be the NL MVP, and it got me thinking.
Okay.
These books need to offer a winner without Ohtani market for the National League MVP. Do you concur?
Love it. Absolutely concur. Have to. I mean, it's not even fun at this point.
It's a waste of time.
It goes back to when, and Barkley was outspoken about it. We had that stretch in college football and in the NBA where there was only 3 or 4 teams that could win the championship.
Yeah,
and that's where we're at now with Ohtani, where it's just an injury.
Yeah,
you're just trying to fade in. You might even say Asia Wilson in the WNBA. It's the only reason they're not going to win is if there's an injury.
And he also doesn't even have to pitch a full season. He can just pitch, like 10, 15 times, and we're still going to give him the award.
Yeah.
All right, I got another one for you. The NBA was built on rivalries. We've had 8 teams win the championship in 8 straight years. The parity era needs a repeat winner this year for the good of the NBA. Do you concur?
This is a good question because it's getting a lot of attention in the last week or so. What are you? Because are you a dynasty guy? Did people like the Golden State? Look what happened in the 80s. It was just Lakers and Celtics, and then in the 90s became Pistons, and then the Bulls, the Jordan Bulls were incredible. I like where it's at right now. I like 8 years, 8 different champions. I do not. No concur.
Really?
I like where we're at right now.
So you think, but when you think about Bird and Magic, you think about with the Bulls and the Pistons. I guess that wasn't the championship, but you get my point.
Super teams. You can say that.
We need some of these rivalries back, and we're also losing them because of the load management. We need to at least show up in the playoffs. So I'd like some consistency. It feels like OKC and San Antonio in the West is probably going to be around for a while. If we can get something similar in the East going, I think maybe that can make up for it.
It depends who it is, though. Like, if OKC wins 3 of the next 4, is that good for business? People can't stand how they play the flopping, and they're a small market. If it's the Knicks, come on.
That's different.
If the Knicks win 2 of the next 3, it's bedlam.
How weird is that?
Pandemonium.
For the team in the number 1 market to not be hated, but you're hating the teams from the small markets. That's a bizarro world I'm not used to. How about this? Group texts are lazy. You should not be obligated to reply to them. Do you concur?
I like the back end of it, the last part.
I
concur. Why is it lazy?
If I open a group text and you all have had 4 or 5 messages before I've been able to reply, I'm not in the conversation anymore. I'll wait till we start a new topic down the road. I'm not scrolling up to read what you guys had to say. I hate group texts. They're the bane of my existence.
Yeah, you got me a couple weeks ago. I hit the reply all.
Oh, you did. You both did. You both did.
We both did. I know.
You guys are pretty good for the, hey, we need vacation time, and you both will reply with your vacation.
They got me. First time that's ever happened. They got me.
Dave Ross used to be the guy, though.
You got that.
It was always
This is we have to talk more about this. This is juicy. Now that we're at halftime and it's raining sideways.
Let's look at the hourly weather.
It's 3 and it's because I want to know, Luke, what do you have? If it's going to be like this coming up in New Jersey for the Norway match, this is crazy.
National Weather Service has issued severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 9 p.m. Eastern time. And Delaware, and it looks like Philadelphia may be in the mix
it's bad
of this.
out there. 1-0 at half, 3.5 under minus 270, 2.5 is still, the under is still plus money. Grab it while you can. Plus 120 under 2.5. Draw 15-1. It is nasty out there in Philadelphia. And now does the same thing happen for Norway and Senegal? This is getting fun now.
Yeah, under 2.5 plus 111. Yeah, I'm kind of into that.
Take the 2.5 goals, too.
Yeah.
Grab 2.5 plus 2.5 goals.
Yeah. France is going to score another goal, and they're going to call the dog. You can't afford an injury here. You're the favorite to win this thing. Get up 2-0, call the dogs off. By the way, park the bus. Should have put that in. I think that might be the best phrase in all of sports.
I love it.
Park the bus might be the best phrase in sports.
Is good. Zlatan and Lawless going at it again at halftime. They're reunited, and people are pissed off. We'll shift to the association up next. Sean Devaney from Heavy.com. Who's going to go 1, 2, 3 tomorrow in the draft, and all the Giannis rumors. Will he be a Celtic? Straight ahead. Follow the money.